ever look at some wild, breathtaking building and just think to yourself, how on earth is that thing still standing? Well, the answer is all about this invisible language of forces, this constant conversation between art and physics. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today, using Dr. Riley Carter's incredible book, Structural Design for Architects, as our guide. In this quote, it just nails it. Dr. Carter's whole point is that there's this gap, a disconnect between how a building is dreamed up and how it actually holds itself together. And when that gap gets too wide, the most beautiful ideas can become incredibly dangerous. So her work is all about building a bridge between that architectural dream and structural reality.
All right, first things first, let's meet our guide for this journey. Section 1, the guide's philosophy, and the person behind the book, Dr. Riley Carter.
So who is Dr. Carter? Well, check this out. She's an architect, a researcher, and an economist. That's a heck of a combo. With over 2 decades of experience, her absolute superpower is taking these really dense, complicated ideas and just making them clear. And what I love is her whole philosophy, progress over perfection. It's not about being perfect, it's about just starting to learn. It makes it all feel way more approachable.
Okay, Section 2, Learning to See Forces. To really get any of this, you first have to understand that every single structure is basically a giant tug of war between 2 main forces, tension and compression. First up is tension. Think of it simply as a stretching force. You know, when something is being pulled from opposite ends, trying to tear it apart, that's tension. Let's try a little thought experiment from the book. Picture a steel cable hanging between 2 poles. Got it? Now imagine we hang a super heavy platform right in the middle. That weight pulls the cable tight, stretching it out. That cable is now experiencing pure tension. It's such a simple idea, but it's the exact same force holding up massive suspension bridges.
And on the flip side of tension, you have compression. This is the opposite. It's a squeezing, a pushing force. If tension pulls, compression squishes. The classic example? You guessed it, a column holding up a heavy roof.
The analogy for this one is even easier, and you've definitely done it before. Just stack a few books. The weight of the top books pushes down on the ones at the bottom. That downward push is compression. And if you add too many books, the one at the bottom gets totally crushed. That's failure by compression. Simple, right?
So, moving into Section 3, the path to stability. You know, understanding these forces is one thing, but controlling them? That takes mastering what is, without a doubt, the single most critical lesson in all of structural design, the load path. And this is where things get serious.
So what is a load path? It's the journey that a force takes, from the weight of snow on the roof to the floors, the furniture, even us, as it travels down through the building and finally, safely, into the ground. And the most important word there is continuous. That's the magic word. The path cannot have any breaks.
And the difference here is, well, it's night and day. A continuous load path is safe, it's efficient. The forces just flow smoothly down into the foundation, like water through a pipe. But a discontinuous path, that's a ticking time bomb. Any break in that path creates a weak spot where all that force builds up until something, somewhere, snaps. As Dr. Carter's book points out so chillingly, whenever we investigate the rubble of a collapsed building, what we're almost always looking at is the tragic result of a broken load path. This isn't just theory, it has real, devastating consequences.
And if you want a real-world lesson, it doesn't get more tragic or clear than the Hyatt Regency walkway collapse. The original 1979 design was perfectly safe. It had a single, continuous steel rod holding up 2 walkways. A clear, strong load path. But in early 1981, a contractor made what seemed like a tiny change to make construction easier. They split that single rod into 2. That one change broke the continuous path and literally doubled the force on one small, critical connection. On July 17, 1981, that connection failed. The walkways collapsed. It remains one of the deadliest structural failures in American history. Okay, I know, that was heavy. But understanding why things fail is absolutely key to creating amazing successes. So, Section 4, From Logic to Landmarks. This is the fun part, where we see how mastering these principles doesn't limit creativity, it unlocks it. I mean, just look at the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world.
Its incredible stability comes from this ingenious system called a buttressed core. That Y shape isn't just for looks. Those three wings are bracing a super strong central hexagonal core. What this does is create a whole bunch of clean, efficient load paths that channel the building's immense weight and the powerful desert winds safely down to the ground. It's genius.
Or how about the Sydney Opera House? We all know those iconic shells, right? Well, they're not just beautiful sculptures, they are structurally perfect. Their unique shape is designed to take every single force, gravity, wind, you name it, and channel it all into pure compression. The load just flows down through those massive ribs and arches and disappears into the foundation. It's the ultimate proof that radical, unforgettable design can come directly from brilliant structural logic.
So this brings us to the final section, and really the ultimate point of Dr. Carter's book, The Collaborative Future. The idea here is that structure isn't an obstacle. It's one of the most powerful design tools you have.
You see, the best, most innovative buildings happen when architects and engineers stop working in separate silos. It's not about an architect throwing a design over the wall and telling an engineer to make it stand up. True innovation sparks when it's a conversation, right from day one, where structural logic inspires the architecture and that architectural vision pushes the engineering to be even more creative.
So the next time you look up at a skyscraper or walk across a bridge, don't just see the shape. Try to see the invisible dance of tension and compression. Try to trace those load paths from the very top all the way down to the earth. Because as Dr. Carter shows us, structure isn't a limitation. It's the invisible logic behind beauty. The only question left is, are you ready to design the future?